So friends, let's see today's delicious sheikh kebabs. Now here I've taken 2 medium onions, chopped them really fine, put them into a napkin, and I'm going to squeeze out as much liquid as I can. So just twist the napkin or the kerchief, or you're using a muslin cloth, and squeeze out as much water as we can from this onion. Discard this water, we don't need to use this water, because we want the onions to be as dry as possible for these kebabs. And after that, they will look like this. Just empty them into a nice dry bowl. And you will see how nicely they become nice and dry and all the liquid has been taken out from it. Now here I have 500 grams of mince or keema. I'm going to add the paste of 3 green chilies. You can use either the light green ones or the spicy ones. Here I'm going to add the onions from which we removed all the liquid. Next I'm going to be adding some chopped up garlic. So I used 5 large cloves of garlic and chopped them really fine. Next goes in about a half a cup of finely chopped coriander leaves. And now I'm going to be using this shan masala of sheikh kebabs. So all the instructions of this are given behind the box of this shan. So I'm going as per the recipe, and I'm going to add this powder masala. So you can add either the whole packet, or you can add little bit and see what is what you like, how you like it. But I added the entire packet and I set it aside for 30 minutes. Then I have this skewer. I'm just going to roll this meat on the skewer like this, and then I'm going to shallow fry it in some oil on a heavy bottomed pan. Alternatively, if you have a barbecue, you can do it on that. If you have an oven with the skewer skewer facility, you can do that. I like to do it on the tawa. It's because I can monitor it and see how much how it's all cooked evenly, the rotisserie function on the oven. And this is all ready. I've served it with some lemon, some pudina green chutney, and some sliced onions, and I'm having bhakri, but you can serve it with your favorite kind of roti or bread. Now we're going to start with making the jowar bhakri. So I've taken half a cup of flour for making one big bhakri. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of hot water, water that you can handle hot to warm. And you have to just keep on adding a little water at a time. So I used about 1/4 cup, and just knead this to a very firm kind of dough. So I'm showing you one jowar bhakri. So a bhakri is generally much bigger than a roti. So I've used about 1/4 cup of hot water. I've just microwaved the water. You can also boil it on a stove top. And now the main thing is that you knead the dough really well. And now you're going to dust your surface with some of the same jowar flour and knead it again, rolling it between the palms of your hands to make a very smooth ball, so that it doesn't have any cracks in it and the bhakri will come out smooth. And now with your rolling pin, gently roll the bhakri into a nice round circle as thin as possible. Keep your pan to heat up on a low to medium, and then just place your bhakri. And now you have to apply some of that same hot water, which has now become warm, of course, onto the bhakri. Now I like to use this silicone brush. You can also do it with your hands, but I find it with the brush I can do it very evenly and there's no excess water. Now you have to roast this till all the water on the top gets dried. So honestly, it takes about half a minute on a low to medium flame. So you'll see that the top of all the water has gone away. So now you turn it over, and now using some tongs or a pincer, you're just going to roast it directly on the flame. So your bhakri will nicely swell up like a fulka. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on the type of atta that you're using. And then just apply some ghee, and this is a... So let's start with today's food needs bhat. Now here I have 1 tablespoon of oil that I'm going to be heating up in a pan. Once our oil is nice and hot, we're going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohori or rye as it's called. Let the mustard seeds splutter a bit. Your flame should be from low to medium. Once it splutters, we're going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Then we're going to add 1 green chili that we've cut into small pieces. Now I like to work with the light green chilies because they're not very spicy. Once the chilies fry well, we're going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, followed by half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. Now you're going to fry all of this really well, and we're going to add 1 medium onion which we have chopped fine. So mix all of this really well together. This is our fodni or bagar. Now fodni bhat is basically, if you have some leftover rice, you can make this. That's why it's called fodni bhat. Fodni means a bagar, and you're putting the bhat or the rice into the bagar. So here I have 1 cup of cooked rice. It's leftover rice from the previous night. You can also cook rice specially for this dish if you want to have fodni bhat, but it always tastes better with the previous days or the previous night's rice. So now I've added the rice. I'm just going to mix everything really well. Now we just have to cover and cook this for about a minute on a low to medium heat. Now the rice, everything, the fodni, everything has come together. So just give it a good stir. And one tip I'd like to give you here is during the summer months, always refrigerate rice. Don't keep it out because it tends to get spoiled. Now you add some salt to taste and again mix everything well. So if rice becomes very sticky, the word in Marathi is liblibit, you need to discard that rice because it's not very good. It will give you a stomach upset. So during the summer months, always refrigerate your rice. So then the rice is all ready. All I have to do is just garnish it with some lovely coriander, and our lovely fodni bhat is all ready to eat. So friends, let's see today's lovely recipe. Now today these are karvanda in Marathi, and I think they're called Bengal currants in English. I'm not very sure. So you get them like these. These are like, Indian berries. Now they have these little stems which we have to remove. But the thing is that you don't, use gloves rather, because they leave a kind of a sap, or it's called cheek in Marathi. So that becomes very sticky and it will stain your hands. So I'm using a pair of gloves, and just to make work easier, I'm using a scissor, but you have to remove all these stems. And then just put them in a sieve or a colander like this. But it's very important. Some of them don't have the stems, some of them do. Now if you see, if I cut it and I press it, you get this white kind of liquid coming out, and that is extremely sticky. So we don't want to get that all over our hands. So try to use gloves if possible. Now once you've finished taking off all of the stems of the karvanda, you're going to wash it under running water really well. And then I'm going to put it in some salt water. So here I have taken about 2 cups of water, to which I've added about 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm just going to put the karvanda in it and keep it there for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, I'm going to rinse it really well under running water, and then I'm going to keep it to dry for at least 8 to 10 hours or even longer. Now once they're completely dry, I'm going to heat 1/4 cup of oil to a smoking point and then bring it to room temperature. So now let's see the other ingredients that we need for our recipe. So this is our karvanda, so it's about a cup or so. Now here is my homemade pickle recipe, which I'll be sharing with you at the end of the video. So I'm adding about 3 to 4 tablespoons, but you can adjust it according to your liking. This is 5 to 6 cloves of garlic that I've chopped roughly. Salt to taste. Now first what we're going to do is we're going to take a bowl into which I'm going to put this pickle masala that I've made. Now if you don't want to make pickle masala, you can buy the ready-made pickle masalas available. Now you add the garlic, and the closest is the mango pickle masala, so you can use that. Now I'm going to add salt to taste. Now pickles always generally have a little more salt than we normally eat. Now I'm going to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons only of the oil. Don't add the entire oil, just about 3 to 4 tablespoons. And now you're going to give this mixture a nice good stir. You're going to get all of the garlic and the salt and the pickle masala really mixed in well. Now this is an instant pickle, but by instant, you should have it, at least keep it for 1 day. The longer you keep this pickle, the better it tastes. But it's not like instant that you can just make it and it's ready to eat. You can keep it for at least 8 to 10 hours, or if possible, an entire day. Now I'm going to add all the karvanda back to the masala that we just now made, and we're going to mix it really well. See that all of the berries are nicely coated with this masala. Now I've taken a nice clean dry glass bottle, and I'm going to add this mixture to the bottle. Now if possible and you have the facility, then always sun dry your pickle bottles. So see, I've got all of that into the bottle, every last drop of the masala, because that's very important. You don't want to waste any of the goodness. And then you're just going to add the remaining oil that has now cooled down into the bottle, and see that the karvandas are all submerged under this oil and pickle masala mixture. So give it a good stir, close the lid. You can have it instantly, but if you keep it for at least a day minimum, you can enjoy it. And if you keep it for longer, now the only precaution is don't use a wet spoon when you're serving yourself from this bottle, and try to keep it in a nice dark cool dark room temperature place. You don't need to refrigerate it, and this has a long shelf life if you take care that you don't put a wet spoon in it. You keep it in a nice dry cool place, and your lovely karvan, that's a lonsa, is all ready. Watch the video till the end because I have shared the pickle masala recipe that you can make at home. Thanks for watching, guys. to make your condensed milk at home. Now here I have just 4 ingredients. This is 1 cup of milk powder. This is 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. This is 1/4 cup of butter and just some hot water as required. So all the ingredients with the exact measurements will be in the description box below. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the powdered sugar and the milk powder with all of the butter into a mixer. Add a few tablespoons of hot water and keep grinding this till you get the right consistency. And then you keep adding the remaining milk powder as well as the powdered sugar. And keep blending it, adding the hot water till you get the required condensed milk consistency, like you would with a regular, tin of condensed milk. Now it has to be piping hot water, so be careful when you're handling your mixer pot also. And this is the consistency we're looking for the ice cream. It's just like thick, flowing condensed milk. So now let's get on with the rest of the recipe to make our ice cream. Now here I've taken an entire liter of fresh cream. That's because I'm making 2 lots of ice cream, the mango flavor as well as the choco chip and vanilla flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just beat this with my whisk till it forms stiff peaks. So this should take you at least about 7 to 8 minutes. So put your timer on your clock or your watch or your phone and just keep whisking this with an electric mixer. Preferably it makes your work easier till your entire cream becomes extremely stiff like this. This is what the consistency we're looking for, light and fluffy and stiff. Now since I'm making, now I'm going to be adding the condensed milk that I have made. Now if you're using the ready-made condensed milk, you'll require an entire tin of condensed milk, the larger one. And we're going to mix this very well together. All of the condensed milk has to really get into that cream. So you can use a whisk. And now I'm just going to divide this equally. So first we're going to start with the mango ice cream. Now I have some fresh mangoes at home. So I've just made a puree out of my mango. And I'm just going to add that. You can add as much or as little as you like. Now if you want a very rich color, you can add food color, or you can go with 2 cups of mango puree. But I like this very light mango color. So it's up to you. And then just put it into your plastic mold and put a piece of paper, that is butter paper, on the top of it, and put it into your refrigerator for at least 10 hours. And now for the vanilla, I'm just going to add about 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla essence into this remaining batter of cream and condensed milk. And I'm going to add a few choco chips to it. Again, I'm going to put this into a ice cream tin. And we're going to put this butter paper like this. That way you won't have any ice crystals forming on your ice cream. And now after waiting patiently, you'll see that the mango ice cream has been set. So just scoop it out. Unfortunately, my scooper broke just a few days ago. So I'm just using a regular kitchen spoon. And the vanilla also has set. So I'm going to scoop that out too. And friends, enjoy this in this summer heat. Just whenever you're hungry and you want something nice and cool and refreshing, you can make your own ice cream at home.